Good afternoon and welcome to the fourth appointment with 5Pins4Dummies in cooperation with the Fibis, the CEB and the UMB. Our aim again is even to give the possibility to foreign players to improve, learn and develop this fantastic game, the 5 pins, all over the world. Today I have here with me Kasper Kristoffersen, one of the most talented players, that's my full opinion, from Denmark, and this is the what happened last year. It's the first year that is becoming 5-pin individual. It's more or less 4 years that it's playing 5 pins, and it's coming from pool and was 24 times Danish champion. Just like imagine how many titles are. Maybe in Italy we have only Marco Zanetti with so much, maybe much more than this kind of. I will introduce you Kasper, which is here. It's this nice guy. He will explain what's happening today in Danish, because he will be commenting into his own language. We will speak in the meantime in English, and he will translate for the Danish players, which I want to thank, and I want to just give a bye to all these guys that I know since a lot of years actually. So it's just like my second family in Denmark and my second place, second home in my opinion. So Kasper, it's your time.
Ja, Luca. Jamen, velkommen til den lille transmission af lidt femkejler. Vi håber, at vi kan give jer lidt mere viden om spillet, og jeg skal prøve med mine begrænsede evner og videreformidle lidt af det, som Luca han kommer med guldkorn. Så håber jeg, at I stiller nogle spørgsmål, hvis I har noget, som I gerne vil have svar på. Og jeg synes personligt, det er 2 meget spændende kampe, vi skal se i dag. Og jeg håber, I får noget ud af det, som vi byder ind med. Go ahead, Luca.
Okay, so let's start with the first match, which will be between one Danish player, Rune Kampe, which, if I'm not wrong, is playing 5 pins since quite 1 year. So we will see his match against Giuseppe Abbruzzese, very nice Italian player in Pistoia, and the World Championship in 2019. Maybe you can also tell us something about Rune, and he's also coming from pockets, but from one of the most nice games that we can see in Eurosports. Actually. So please introduce us and to maybe the Danish Rune Kampe.
Rune is a snooker player, but he played a lot of different games, but last, I think, 20-25 years he's been playing a lot of snooker, winning several Danish championships, and like me, he turned to 5 pins I think 3.5 years ago, but spent a lot of time the last 2 years practicing.
Yeah, that's fine. Maybe you can can take advantage of the fact that you play very straight, as I also told you when I came to do a camp with you in Denmark, and it's just the time to improve maybe some kind of cushion technique for the pins, and maybe some strategy, and I think you will be able to develop a very nice and a very skilled 5-pin game. But you already gave the Italian players a good demonstration of that in Pistoia, and I'm speaking about you, that you won your own group, and also Erling was able to play very well in a very tough group. Same did Rune. Let's follow him here, and just feel free to give me any kind of question about technique or tactics about that game.
Yeah, but of course, when you come from a pocket game, you have a different stroke, especially like Rune coming from snooker. But on the other hand, you have a lot of accuracy in your shot. But as you say, the angles and the cushions might give us a little problems in the beginning.
Yes, that's sure. And we start normally from a different point, and we are now starting also to taking care about body position, aiming, because it's maybe the third or this generation of new players, maybe not only Pepe Abbruzzese, which is not so young, just like other players. I mean, Matteo Gualemi or Andrea Quarta, or the youngsters that are coming up in Italy. Actually, they are all coming from a different school, and they are very, very skilled into body position and naming. While you are starting from that part, and so I think it will be easier for you to develop and to improve the 5-pin game. But that's my opinion. Free to
Yeah,
share it or
we
no, or
have
not share
when
it.
you play the pocket games, you have very good cue ball control because you have to get the cue ball into a certain position every time, and that's the part where we might be a step ahead of a lot of other players when we change to this game.
I understood. And why we have been attracted by the 5 pins? I know that in Denmark there is another play, the 5K, the Kegel game, but it's different because it's also a sequence game. It's not a play by play just like that one. So why did you decided and were attracted by this game? It's quite unusual for me. I like it, of course, because it's my game. But I just want to see and to understand why you started playing 5 pins.
Yeah. Actually, the pin game in Denmark is not very tactical. It's a sequence game. You have to make as much points as possible. And I tried actually to go back to that game a few years ago, and I missed the tactical part. It was you actually only played against yourself. In this game, I get the tactical part as well as a lot of challenging shots. Every shot, you don't have any easy shots because even the easy shot, you have to get the maximum out of the shot. Have to make a lot of points. You have to cover the balls for next player and so on. So it's actually two very different games.
Yeah, I know. I try to play some kind of Danish pins when I've been in ICAST. 3 times I've been there. I also try to do uh, a similar game in Germany. They have the Kegel also there in a shorter and in a different table, which is without the pockets, while you play Danish pins with and without pockets too. It's something different,
Yeah,
but it's nice. And then let's try to
yeah,
see what's happening here with Rune, which has a good shot, and what's doing over there.
yeah. That's perfect shot. Perfect shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's getting 4 points and he's making the next shot very difficult for his opponent.
Yeah. It was more a cushion shot than a pocket shot, that one.
Yeah.
And in that case, can also do again the red ball with the white one, so gain 4 points and maybe try to do pins within that shot. But basically, the idea is to exchange the quarters and so to move into that position. And now it's time for Abbruzzese to try to find a way to get out of this problem. And it's exactly what a pin player has to do. So just to find 3 points and to escape and to get out with the other one, so that for Rune will be not easy to play within the red one close to the hand, and not be easy to handle that shot.
Yeah, again, perfect shot from Rune. He should have added more power and covered the yellow behind the pins, but he makes 10 points, and I think he's pretty happy with that shot.
Yeah, basically he should have been giving something a little bit more of reverse English, just to find a way to get the white ball close to the center part of the billiard. But it was quite okay even that. Not easy to play with the red one close to the hand.
No. And again,
And that
it's
is
perfect shot, perfect pace.
Yeah.
And he gets on the right side of the yellow. He don't want to get too much underneath it and risk pushing it straight up the table.
quite close to 99% loading of perfection, that shot. Tempo, English, everything. It's quite perfect half garuffa.
Yeah, and actually the same here, because even though he don't make any points, he moves the balls diagonally and makes it difficult for him.
It's two cushion with English, which is in Italian it's called bricolla. It's basically with positive English. We can find a way to play in 2 or 3 different ways, depends on the English we want to give on that shot. This is short basically, because even if you take that part of the ball, we should be able to cover up. And then Abbruzzese is able to do a couple of points. It could have been more. But the basic part of that shot is to find a way to cover up, and just to find the possibility to get 2 or 3 shots in sequence if Rune is doing some bad shots, or if he's giving some opportunity to Abbruzzese to come up from this from this situation.
Same again. It's not the perfect shot, but he gets on the right side of the yellow ball, so it's covered up behind the pins again.
Absolutely. The same here. The idea of Abbruzzese is just to link the white ball close to the short opposite rail, or maybe to do also the red one. Now Rune is in the same as the same facing the same problem for the just because he has the hand close to the red ball and he's not able to shot very easy. In that case, it's just a mismatch because I think that in the next 4 or 6 months he will be able to play different. So he will play straight traversino. So we'll play to do pins coming from the long rail, not that shot, because it would have been easier. He would have take confidence with the shot and then to find a way to do pins. It's quite easy, but it's not used to do it. So we will learn about that. In that case, it was easier to do that kind of shot and maybe to approach the end of the set in a faster way.
Yeah.
Then he was bouncing. I think he was trying to get the ball on cushion. One cushion was the same. But also here, Abbruzzese is coming back from the mismatch that I was underlining before from Rune's choice. Anyway, now Rune has the possibility to do pins because Abbruzzese did 10 points but was not able to defend. A nice shot from Rune, and now we see that there is the time to play it straight. It's quite amazing what can be done. It was just like a bounce on the third row because it was not managed the correct tempo of the shot. It was quite okay.
Ooh.
That's really a mismatch from Abbruzzese, which has a lot of luck in that shot because it was
Yeah, it is
really a bad one.
way too thick.
Yeah, absolutely. Should have taken the ball thinner and get in the opposite. Also here to caution with English and a good tempo. Maybe it's too fast a bit. I think it's okay in any case. If there is a saving.
Yeah.
Now who has the chance to close the set? So
Yeah.
now Rune was
Perfect.
closing the set. I think that the right shot could have been to play straight, maybe to raise a little bit the back of the cue, but it's okay even that.
Yeah.
It could have been played faster in a faster way to do a better result also in terms of even if he was not able to close. But it's even here is experience, and it will come by practicing. Your set is okay.
It's a nice opening shot, not placing his own ball too close to the rail. Ooh. Wow.
Now we see start of the second set with a very nice shot from Pepe Abbruzzese. It's called
Really
Filotto.
nice shot.
Yeah, really, really. And that's you can see also the replay of the match the set before. And also the amazing shot of Pepe Abbruzzese from the start of the second set. And then we saw also Rune playing two cushion. He slowed correctly the speed of the shot, because then in that case was able to cover from this position. But anyway, it's a three cushion, also 10 points from Pepe Abbruzzese. So the start of the second set is very hard.
Yeah. Ooh, way too big.
Now I don't know if this is coming from the table, because we saw also in other games that we were commenting before that maybe that right rail is a little bit sliding, but also I'm quite sure that there was a mistake in the evaluation of the position of the opposite ball, the starting point of his own. Anyway, it would have been perfect to get the ball on that side, so the mistake would have been done from the right way. And then, of course, there's a 5 cushion. That's the choice, because it was not able to put. Yeah, it was forced to play like that because the red ball is still on the starting point, so he was not able to play from the starting point, because it would not be possible to play the filotto within.
Yeah. But
and that's it.
good
Then Rune
recovery
was able to come up.
from Rune.
Yeah, not easy. Good tempo of the shot, because then Abbruzzese
Exactly.
will not be able to play for the pins. Will play defense within the
Whoa.
red ball.
Wow, really good shot. Whew.
Well, good tactics, and perfectly done. Rune is now
Bit
really
risky,
in
but
hell.
turned out well.
And this is also a amazing quality shot, precaution by putting both balls close to the long rail.
Yeah, clever shot.
It's technical quality of Giuseppe Abbruzzese in front shots. It's quite amazing. But it's also a very nice tactic conduction. I've seen him playing several times, and there is always something to learn from him.
I think it was a very clever shot, the other one, because most players would try to force their own ball to the other end of the table, but he just parked it on the rail and made it difficult for Rune.
Yes, basically this is happening when you have the possibility to swap the balls in the different part of the table. But if you are quite straight, it's even a very nice position if you take the two balls on the same line close to the long rail, because it's not easy even to manage, find pins and also defense. And when you are in when you have so much advantage, what you need is to do pins, and then you can also try to and let the opponent player shot, because at this stage you will be able to recover something sooner or later. Maybe
Yeah,
it will not be easier to do that when you are very close in the scoring, because you have to take care much more about the arrival of both balls. Anyway, a good shot even from Rune. I was trying to do a good defense with the red ball, and then he has the possibility to come back a little bit, even if I believe that this set will be won by Giuseppe Abbruzzese. Let's see. It's 10 points from Rune, and also here we see that straight game is not a problem for Danish players, but the even quality of the shot is missing. Also here, you see, also Abbruzzese did a mistake, not taking the opposite ball. But you have seen that it was also shooting with the same tempo of Rune in the same shot of the set, because he had to lower the speed of the shot. Now Rune has another possibility to take advantage and to do some pins. Basically, this is not what I would play in this set, because we'll be able to do pins, but we will stay on the same side of the red ball. So for Abbruzzese, it will be easier to get at least the red one. It would have been able to play the same shot, maybe putting the ball into the starting point, because the red ball should have not been done in that position. It was just like not a technical error, but a tactical error. You have to get out from that position if you are at the end of the set, and that's the case because then Abbruzzese was able to close the set, even not doing the red one. We are back again on the third set, so now it's one set for Rune and one for Giuseppe Abbruzzese. Remember that we are in Pistoia World Championship. as you can see, all the players are starting with this kind of defense, so trying to get the opponent's ball close to the red ball. The shot at 80-90% from the opposite player would be this one, or 2 cushion. Or if the ball is quite linked to the short rail, it will be a 1 cushion shot to try to exchange the balls. If it's a 2 cushion, then the opposite ball is coming from the opposite long short rail. If it's a 1 cushion, the idea of the shot, maybe we will see it in this on the other game. The idea is to get the opposite ball close to the starting short rail, and then to get in that position with the player's ball. So in that case, Rune has to play a half garuffa. You play the full garuffa in that case, with quite a very nice thing.
Yeah, it ended up nice, but it was a bit risky going that steep up the table.
Yeah.
Big risk to go straight on the yellow and leaving Filotto for Giuseppe.
Yeah, I do agree with you.
Or missing totally.
Yeah. At the end, then Abbruzzese was mixing the ball, so there are 4 points for Rune, and even there the possibility to start and to do some pins and take advantage of that. Tactically, what I always recommend is not to play that shot, but to take the ball into the starting point to play the Filotto, because it's an easier shot, and because it would not take mistakes. If Rune would be able to do a very nice shot, will take advantage, but I think it's too much risky, and the risk is exactly that one, to do no pins at all, and then Giuseppe could breathe a little bit and to try to come after and come back from that situation. Always, if it's possible, to put the ball at the starting point. We have a question from Johnny Pedersen. Hey, Luca and Kasper, do you ever see an Italian player recognize his opponent? I don't understand the question. You see German and Danish players do it. What do you mean, Johnny?
What he means is you see the opponent tapping the table because of a good shot.
Yes. It's something that we do. Maybe not so often, but we do it, absolutely. It depends on the player, but we are quite used to do it. For example, I don't do it personally. Quite unusual for me, but it's just because my concentration it's on my ball, so I quite don't care so much about what's doing the opponent player. It's not a question of being polite. It's just that I look at my concentration. It's just because of that. I prefer to discuss about shots when the match is finished, and maybe to do some kind of comment on the game, but not during the game. That's because sometimes this kind of the way we underline the good shot can have different interpretations. So in any case, if you want to do it, it's okay. We are a little bit too much particular sometimes as spin players, but we do it, absolutely. And what about you in Denmark? You underline this kind of shot, so if there is a good shot, you try to, you underline that by tapping on the table?
Yeah, it's every player has his own way of doing it, but yeah, normally tapping the table or I don't even know the English word knips. You recognize it by showing.
Just like if you snap with the
Snap the
with the
fingers.
fingers, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We do it the same.
But it's the same. Some players do it, some players don't. I think Rune is very good at doing it. I think it comes from snooker. It's
Yeah.
very much a gentleman sport. You recognize a good shot,
Yeah.
but in most disciplines, it's normal that you recognize a good shot.
What I like to underline on that kind of match is that a player which is coming from a different game in 2 or 3 years is able to play quite at the same level of Giuseppe Abbruzzese. So for me, it's amazing because the most skill that I see in foreign players is that you are like a sponge. So you take everything is told to you, and you get it as it's yours, and you are able to put it in practice very easily. And that's amazing, also for a teacher, and that's amazing to see people improving in that game. Um, I told several times we will see sooner, very soon, a foreign player in the higher one of the highest places in a European and world champion. Not only Italian, Argentinian guys or coming from Uruguay, but we will see sooner a German, a Danish, a French player do a very nice result. And that's good for our. I mean, it's not our game, but it's where this everything started from Italy.
I think you're right, but it's very much about experience, especially in the tactical part. The systems and the shots, the shooting techniques, we can learn, but the tactical part is difficult to develop when you play within a small group of players in your own country. We don't have that many good players in any European country besides Italy.
Yeah, but basically, I think that we will be able to improve that in different ways. The first is just to do this kind of comments. I think they are very useful. Also, because even on the internet you can find a lot of games, but maybe without an English comment, so sometimes it's not easy to understand why a player has done some kind of choice and why is not doing maybe a different one, or maybe why he has decided to go from one or and not for the other 2 or 3 different choices. That is one of the cases. He's playing a two cushion and is not playing front shot. This because
Exactly.
it's easier to get and to maintain a defense in a game where he's very far from Rune. He did 8 points. It's a lot in that case. But also, if he would not have been doing so much pins, it would have been done doing a good defense, and that's the aim of the game. In that case, so the explanation is that by swapping maybe the figures, Pepe would have played straight, not a two cushion.
Yeah, but the shot he played was a minimum of risk, and still he managed to make some points. Even though if he didn't make any points, it would still be a difficult shot for Rune afterwards.
And as you can see, in 2 shots, he was able to get back and to take also little uh, advantage from in terms of in that match. One of the other things that I've seen by playing and teaching all over the Europe is that the way you approach the games, it's amazing because you are able to play and to be very, very concentrated by playing these kind of tournaments. But sometimes we are quite always relying on our technical and tactical abilities, which in this kind of tournaments normally are a little bit less than in playing in Italy normal tournaments. Here we have seen 10 points from Giuseppe Abbruzzese. It's not luck; it's part of the shot. So could happen that you do 10 points or pins in that shot, because it's just like if you play with reverse English on a long rail just to open the game. If you open it a little bit too much, you are in the pins. And that's a good shot from Giuseppe Abbruzzese. It's just short, but the right part of the ball in the mistake is that one. Not easy, maybe, to find the right tempo, but this is exactly where you have to aim to get the balls. Also here, Rune is playing a traversino, so he's playing straight just to do pins within the long race. I remember that when I came to Denmark, this was not one of the shots that you were used to play, and because you were playing in the old way, so only in the slower way. In that case, there was a bad combination of speed and ball quantity, but even again here, by improving and playing, this will be something that will get to you all pins and recover. In that case, it was the opposite. But the shot and the idea of the shot was absolutely okay. And also here, it's a quality shot from Rune, because he's playing for the 4, but it was not easy. Maybe it would have been better for him to play with the reverse English on the long range, just sponda e palla, ci stavi con le.
Too big a risk to go that way and ending up with both balls on the same side of the table.
Exactly. This is really the tactical part of the game. So sometimes you play the wrong shot, but between 3 or 4 shots, you are really choosing the worst one. But it's just because you are not used to play so often. While you can recover a lot when you play straight, because you have the right skills to do pins and to have the right tempo on the ball, on the shot. And this is the case of Rune. It's quite amazing.
This is probably
it's amazing because he's
worst
playing
shot.
straight and he's playing straight, but then he's moving afterwards. So it's not the shot is not affected from that.
But anyway, he lost the control of his own cue ball, so it was affected a bit. But that's probably the worst technical shot he's been shooting all season.
Yeah. And that's a big mistake, because it's not knowing exactly how the balls are moving. So he did the wrong mistake on that shot.
I think
Basically,
he came too thick on the yellow ball. That meant that his own ball was moving too little. Otherwise, it it might have ended up more on the middle of the table.
Yeah, on the middle, or maybe it would have been able to come back on the left side, so where it was starting from, of course, in the opposite part of the table. And I think that sometimes you, and in that case Rune, have to think about a little bit where you have to aim and how you can handle the shot, and from which side you don't have to do the mistake. Also, because if you take the inner pin, then you can do the other ones. If you take the outer pin, you are not able to recover, and even you are not able to come back into the pins.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's still in the set. Is still in the game. And so, what do you think about your experience also in Pistoia? Because what it was not nice for me is I was not able to see you play on the TV table on that one. That's another very nice shot from Rune, 5 points again. Because we don't have matches from you, but maybe let me have some impression of your. I think it's really your first World Championship. Just to understand what were your feelings, what you find good and bad, and where do you think that you can improve your game. That's a nice even shot from Giuseppe Abbruzzese.
For me, it was a very, very big experience. It was a very nice tournament. Time schedule was pretty much precise every time. So it was nice that you didn't have to be in the room, the hall for more hours than most necessary. I think the first 2 matches I was nervous and didn't play my best. Fortunately for me, I was not having the worst first match, and in the second match I met the defending champion, and I started out well, and then he just went defensive, and I couldn't cope with that. So basically, what I learned from that tournament was that the defensive part of the game I have to develop a lot.
So you were playing against Alejandro Martinotti.
Yeah, and he started out aggressively, and we just exchanged open shots, and I got away with that the best. But then suddenly he changed to very tight defense and totally shut me down. Didn't have any answers for that. It was just too strong.
Yeah.
And the same in the knockout stage. I met an Argentinian guy, and he. I don't think he was that much better than me, but he was wiser at the game. He played some good defensive tactics, and I wasn't good enough to answer to that.
Do you remember the name of the Argentinian player? Was that I don't remember if it was Oliva de la Gasper. I don't remember who you were.
No, I'm not sure. Can't remember the name.
You don't remember? Okay.
No.
But Argentinian guys are very clever, and they know a lot about tactics. They quite play a very good game. They are not maybe for them it's not easy to play in the Italian tables because they have very old tables in Argentina, and so it's a little bit different. Also the cushion game, but the skills are quite amazing. We face more or less the same problems when we go to Argentina and play the World Championship. And that's the case because normally Italian players are not able to win in Argentina the World Championships, and there should be a reason. Also, not only in terms of tables, of course, there are the crowd and the participation of the players is different, and also about the public, which is shouting. It's quite amazing. But I think that in Pistoia, we saw the same thing within the Italian crowd. And for me, it was amazing to see people. In that way, Rune is trying to get the yellow ball linked to the red one. It was a good choice, bad tempo, and so I think that Abbruzzese will be able to close the set. But here again, all that stuff is coming from, in my opinion, a wrong choice from Rune when he decided to go close to the red pin some shot ago. Because again, if you are close to the end of the set, you have never go so close to the red ball, because it's too easy then to close the game for a skilled player. You can lose a game by only by red balls, by getting the red ball and not doing the pins. So it's something that here, in terms of tactics, you have to see and maybe to analyze some games within the most talented and skilled Italian players. They will never go close to the red ball when they are close to the end of the game. If they have to recover, if they have to close the set, they will try to do it. And then we start with the fourth set, and even here, the same start that they use in any set. So just try to come back and to get an interference between in that case, the white ball and the pins, the red one. And in that case, Rune should play on one cushion to take the yellow ball close to the short rail and to come back in the starting position here with the white one. Let's see. It took too much part of the yellow ball. It was all even too fast. It's just a kind of luck, this kind of position. What do you think about that, Kasper?
Yeah, well, the perfect way was to hit the yellow ball like half a ball or something like that, so you can push it to the other side of the table.
Yeah, but the easiest way is to let the opponent's ball close to the short rail, just to take this, not the thick part of the ball, but the thinner part of the ball, and then to get back with your ball on the starting, where you started to play short rail. In some kind of position, you are also able to find the red ball and to do 4 points. Also here, a very nice garuffa from Rune. Nice. There was one of my comments live when I was seeing this game in Pistoia, and I mentioned to all the Italian players that Rune was doing training, was into the cushion game only since 2 or 3 months. And so it's quite amazing to see him playing so good into cushions. And it's very nice.
Yeah.
Right tempo, right choice of the way of approaching the cushion game. I think that if you all are improving into not only technique but tactics, it will be funny, really funny. And also here it's an amazing shot, because you can also consider the fact that his ball is going in the middle part of the table, so Abbruzzese will not be able to play straight on the. There is also the red one, so he has to play to find a defense. And that is short, so Rune has the choice to start and to take advantage in that set. It's a nice shot, only too short. And this is a mistake, because if you do it longer, it will not be easier for your opponent to play, even if he's able to see the opponent's ball. This is a mistake in terms of speed of the shot. I think you agree with me, or?
Yeah, he would rather go too far than too short on that shot before, because if he can see it on the other side of the pins, it's not that dangerous.
Exactly. Now he's playing a two cushion to get into.
Yeah.
It's a little bit, maybe in that case, too fast, but it's okay in any case, because there is even the red ball, which is close, which is not giving the possibility to Abbruzzese to do pins directly. And also here you see that tactics. Abbruzzese is trying to find a position. It's short, that shot. If it was able to do it a little bit longer, Rune wouldn't have the possibility to play two cushion. So it's even a question of tempo. And it's half Garuffa. In that case, there was, in my opinion, there was a mistake in the aim on the long rail, not really on the English, but this right long rail it's the same one that was sliding in the three cushion, if you remember, in the first set, second set, when he was missing the ball. And also here, Abbruzzese the choice was to do to take the pins on the second row and to get the three balls or the two balls on the same line in the opposite in the short rail. This because in any case it would get the red one. Not easy shot, not a lot of luck, but also not a good shot even from Rune. In that case, he took the wrong part of the ball, wrong tempo, and wrong aim, basically. Also here, I don't know if you agree with me, Rune should have been able to take maybe 10 seconds more and think about that shot. It was very important to do pins, because you have always to move and to give some fuel to the numbers that you can see on the result. And 0 in that kind of shot, in that kind of tournament, is quite not acceptable. I think you agree with that, no?
Yeah, he should have done better on that, I think. But he had to force it a little bit, and I think he was unsure of where he would put his own if he made it harder.
Yeah, he's always here. I think it's a it's a question of playing and to get skilled about this kind of shots. This is a direct shot, one cushion shot. It's quite a good tempo because he was able to take the white ball close to the short rail. And then let's see what's happening with the reply of Giuseppe Abbruzzese. Then you see that it's just trying to do pins or the red ball because in any case there is not in a straight shot. So in any case, Rune now here has to find a good combination of tempo, aiming, and shot just to reply to the shot of Abbruzzese. I think he will not be able to do a very good defense. It's not an easy position.
No.
Also here it's tactics. Yeah, it's a good shot. He did 4 points, but in any case, Giuseppe is even able to play straight, and that's what he wanted to have as a possibility. Quite missing shot.
That's actually a pretty good shot. He managed to put his own cue ball by the rail.
Yeah. Basically, it's when you play with these very skilled players, they try to do it to let it become a sequence game for themselves. So they try to find sequences. Maybe you are willing to think that okay, I'm playing straight, so I have the possibility to do things, but you have also to take care about the defense because otherwise they can take advantage also if they get pins from you. In that case, he was shooting by purpose on the red ball with the slower speed to find a recover. There's a little part of luck in that shot, but there's also a very good knowledge of what's happening by hitting the red ball. And now Rune is just able to find the way to defense to get a good defense here. And he took the ball even here to thick. But the idea was okay. He had to move from that position. But that's what's happening when you play with a very good player. You find that he's doing always a lot of pins, and you are even playing straight, but you are not able to recover. Here, you have to manage, and you have to learn to manage some kind of tactics in that part of the game. It comes up with the experience. Yeah. Because as we can see, when you are playing straight, it's even okay. Then maybe you have to manage some shots with different tempo, different speed, but it's even okay. Now here, Giuseppe Abbruzzese has the red ball between his ball and the other one, so he will play for a 2 cushion. No English, so he was able to get even 3 points, which are taking him at 54. And then we follow that shot because in Italy we are not used to play with the rack. Now we see that Rune is asking for the rack. Let's see what's happening when a snooker player a snooker player or a pool player is playing with the rack. Perfect position.
Yeah.
And an amazing shot.
Especially snooker players, they very much used to playing with the rest, but this is a very difficult shot when you have to shoot it that hard. It's the English, when you put it just a little bit of English in your own cue ball, it's so easy to put in too much. But there was perfect shot.
Absolutely. We are not used to play with the rack, and in my opinion, it's our fault. We have to learn it because we play with an extension, which is not so easy to manage, in my opinion. So I would go even to play with the rack or maybe with the longer cue. Because it has a different balance. And here, Rune, with that shot, is able to have a possibility to get back into that set, to find a way maybe to go close, to equalize the number of sets. Let's see.
Yeah. He's trying to put his own cue ball in the corner, but unfortunately he doesn't hit the yellow ball correctly enough to make it stay on the other half of the table.
Yes, because the right way to get that shot was to take the first pin, then the other 3 pins, and then he would have been able to recover in the middle part of the billiard. It's not an easy shot, of course, but that's the way it should have been. And then Giuseppe is coming back with an amazing shot, 6 points, and then he's closing the match. It was a very, very nice match, in my opinion, with a little bit of experience. I'm quite sure that Rune would have been able to take this match into the final, the 5th set. I remember again that he's
sure
playing.
in a year or 3, maybe I think Rune would play a bit different, and I think he would make this match even tighter.
It's experience, in my opinion, and it's just what you need. Maybe we will be able sooner or later to do some kind of tournament by mixing Italian and foreign players. It's not only one of my ideas. I think that it's also an idea from other guys from the CAB, and I think it would be nice maybe to share this experience between players. And what do you think about that? In the meantime, we will start seeing the other gameplay between Andrea Quarta and Erling Sjørup.
Yeah, I think we can learn a lot from the Italian players. As you said earlier, we can also learn a lot from watching games on Billiard Channel, YouTube, etc. But especially in the tactical part, we can learn a lot.
I choose that game because I know Erling. It's a lot of time. I think it's 25 years. I know Erling Sjørup. We are quite friends. I think it's one of the most talented players. He's been also world champion in biathlon against Niccolò Camarata. We discussed a lot about that game because it's an unusual game, and in my opinion, it's an unusual way to play against one of I think it's actually the hardest player you can find to play against with Andrea Quarta. In that case, Erling was decided to go just to get the other ball close to to have a defense by having the balls very, very close. It's not the way I would play that one. I would play on the opposite long rail to find a 2 cushion, 1 cushion, and defense. And this game is exactly what can happen when you find one of the, 2, 3 best Italian players, and they find a sequence between the pins, because you are not able to give to replicate. You are not able to do the pins, and you have to find a way to get out of a sequence situation. That's what's happening. There's also not a lot of luck in that case, but starting from there, we have seen Rune playing, for example, a 3 cushion in a similar position, while here, because we have a similar position, and Andrea is playing. There are two different choices. You can play a 5 cushion or a 3 cushion. But the mistake of that shot is to do this kind of pins. And again, it's a sequence game for Andrea. And now Erling has to find the way to keep the other ball and do a saving. It's quite frustrating to have this kind of game, because you are not able to recover easily from this kind of positions. Then he went into it was coming from a 3 cushion. It's short, and then Andrea is able even to play straight again. A very nice shot even from Andrea. The perfect tempo. What I want to underline here is that this kind of sequence can happen not only with Andrea Quarta. It's just you have to find the good balance between being aggressive and being defensive.
Yeah. For me, Erling is taking the wrong shot here. I think he should go the other way around, 2 cushions and kicking the yellow either to the pins or behind the red.
Well, if you take the ball just like that, you can swap into the different corners, and I think it's okay. On the other hand, if you go on a 2 cushion, if you take the ball too thin, it may happen that the Andrea would play straight. This is a good mistake. Let me say just like that. It's a good mistake. If you get too much into this garuffa, you can swap into the corners, and it's okay. Then, of course, Andrea is doing 4 points, and it's just remember that it's ranked number 1 since 15 years. That guy, that guy.
Yeah,
so it's not easy to play against him.
It's almost the perfect game he's playing. That one, he's scoring on every shot almost.
Yeah.
And as you said, Erling is probably also missing a bit of luck. He's always getting a bit too thick and not covering the balls instead of a bit thinner and then covering up.
Also here again, it's perfect. even perfection. You see that white ball is closing is being linked to the short rail and into the mid part of the table.
Yeah.
And even here, Erling is trying just to get the opposite ball and to find a position. I would try to play. In that case, I'm 48-0, so I will try to find to move the balls and to find something different. If I was 40-40, maybe I would play that one. I would have been
difficult
a little bit more aggressive.
When you roll it like that, you're big chance you have Traversino or Giro. Or it's difficult to get away with this roll shot. If you play it 3 times the speed and hit half the yellow, you might be able to split them up.
Yeah. Of course, it's also bad luck to find this kind of quite straight position because it was not even so difficult for Andrea to replicate. But also because then you find always a difficult position to get back from. And this was what Andrea would play here. So he has to play with positive English on the short rail just to find this drawing on the table. And that's okay in any case because there is even the red ball. This game is starting. It started not straight, but in the wrong way, and this also in the mistakes from Andrea. It's becoming worse. But it's just like sometimes the table and the billiard and the game is telling you that there was something in the approach on the table, and I know that then Erling was playing with Andrea after this game. I don't remember if in the European Championship or in the World Championship, and he did a different game. So we can learn even and mostly from this kind of games because he wanted to change the approach because it's not the first time he's playing, of course, with Quarta, but I'm quite sure that the right approach on any kind of game is play your game, play your billiard, and let's see where it can take. If he's even because if you play your game, you are able to understand where you have to improve. If you play something which is not yours, it's not easy to understand what you can do or where you can, if you can learn.
Yes, for sure. It's a difficult game that you play one of the best in the world, and
yeah, I think the best in the world.
Before the match, you set your mind on making a big upset and surprising him a bit, and then within 5 minutes, everything is lost. It's very difficult.
Then we see a strike from Erling at 16 points. But I know exactly what you can think and what are the feelings when you play against Andrea or these amazing players, because we are always wrongly thinking at what they can do. But basically, you should think about what you have to do. And they have this psychological advantage that you have to be able to work against. Because it's, of course, they have they are talented. They can do much pins than you, but you don't have to care about that and to think about your game.
Yeah, and
Sometimes I
on the
think,
other hand, they have everything to lose, and you have everything to win. So sometimes you just have to throw everything in it. Everybody
it's
is
just like
expecting
sport.
Andrea to win big, and Erling should be able to play without nerves. I'm not thinking he had the big nerves because he's a experienced player. So, but anyway, when you play these big guys, you should be able to play more free because the pressure is on them.
Of course. Yes, of course. And I saw all these players uh, suffer when they find a player which doesn't care, let me say in the polite way, about the player they are playing against. So they don't care about the titles, they don't care about the skills, they just play their game. One of the most famous examples is Tony Rosenberg. Tony doesn't care about the opponent. He's playing his game and is able to do 100, 120% of what he's doing on the table. And that's it. Especially in the tournaments. Tournaments, it's not just like training. Because you have to be concentrated only in maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, and then stop and then get again back into the game. It's not easy. You have also to train your mind. And for example, in Italy, we have mental coaching. We have a lady, Milena Romano, which is able to do that. And I think it's very important. Uh, what do you think about that also? Because I think that you have a mental coach over there also in Denmark, or you are willing to find something similar.
Yeah, well, you cannot underestimate the mental part of the game. You can be a very good billiard player tactically and technically, but if your nerves are a problem, then it doesn't really matter. And
Yeah.
it's a big part. You need to be able to play your own game and be easy in your head and make the right decisions and not have to spend too much energy on coping with the pressure.
But you find some difference in the mental part of the approach of the game between pool and pins?
Yeah. I think the big difference is that it's not a sequence game in the same way as pool. You don't have to shoot like 10 or 15 or 20 times in a row. So you always have one shot, and then you can go back to your own mental process to be ready for the next shot.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a big difference, because if you're feeling unsure and you're making one pot in pool, and then you're building up more insecurity because of the pressure, then you don't have 1 minute to stand on the side waiting for next shot. You have to produce, you have to find some kind of rhythm. Here, the rhythm can be one shot, and then you go back into your own mental room and wait for the next shot.
Exactly.
But I'm sure for some players it's an advantage, and for others it's a disadvantage that you have to wait for the next shot.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think some players don't like to be interrupted. They would rather shoot 100 times in a row and find it difficult to be interrupted by the opponent, and others would find it very nice that you can get that break for 10, 15, 20 seconds.
think because you are coming from a sequence game, so you are not really used. Maybe you are used to do it when you have a break between one set and the other, but not during the same game. So I mean, it's a different way really of playing. Also here we see
very much
they are playing
very much.
Yeah.
For me, I think it's better this way than the other way.
Yeah, that's it. It's quite interesting. One of the things that I want to underline when you see Andrea playing is that it's completely straight. Yeah, the cue is straight. The left foot is straight on the same line of the cue, and the right foot is exactly crossing the cue. It's exactly the same way the snooker player are on the table. So here we can see it exactly. He's giving a look at where he's aiming, and this is exactly straight on the line of the shot. This is, I mean, perfection. And he's closing also the game. The choice of that game is exactly to think about what can happen when you change the way and your technique. And you can take advantage of this kind of games and understand how you can play and how you can improve, and then sometimes you don't have to move by your own way of playing. I hope that you enjoyed the comments. It will not be the last one. Also, I think we will improve with other Danish players. In the meantime, I thank you to being here. Also the Italian Federation, the CAB, the UNB, and also Mirko Bianchi, which is always our man in black, as I can mention, because it's the technical part of this transmission. And I hope that you will be able to improve again, because I saw you and also the other players improve a lot in the last 4 years your game. And so I leave you at your comments so that you can tell anything to your Danish friends and to the Danish Federation, where I always have to thank Torsten Danielsson and also Rune, which is now into the federation, if I'm not wrong, because has got some kind of position into the Danish Federation of Billiard. So I leave the word to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Luca. Thanks for the opportunity. It was very fun. Tak til dem, der har fulgt med derude. Jeg håber, I har fået lidt ud af det. Det er forhåbentlig ikke sidste gang, vi prøver det her. Måske er der en af jer andre, der får chancen næste gang. Og jeg er selvfølgelig åben for spørgsmål, hvis der er nogen, der har noget. Og jeg er sikker på, at der også er mange af de andre, der vil hjælpe til, hvis der er nogen, der har spørgsmål derude. Så sig endelig til. Tak for den her gang. Thank you, Luca.
Thank you. The only word that I may understand in Danish, I think it's a hygge, which is also your way of living. I even tell to all the players that they have to come to Denmark. It's a very nice place, very nice also billiard clubs. I hope that we will be able to see each other soon, maybe in Ikast or wherever in Denmark. I would like to come also to do holidays over there. Thank you, and we will see each other the next Wednesday. We will see the final part of the World Championship in Pistoia, so the final game between Ciro Davide Rizzo and Santi Caratozzolo. We will have Tony Rosenberg at the comment between English and German, which is another language I don't understand at all, but that's okay. And I hope you can always take advantage of this kind of broadcasting. Thank you all. Thank you, Mirko, again. And sorry because I didn't mention you in the starting of our broadcasting. So don't kill me, Mirko, for that. And I hope to see you soon. And I hope to reply to all your questions whenever you want to do it to me in my page or wherever. Feel free to ask me and to improve your game. Thank you, and have a nice day.
Bye.